Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been quite a bit since I've last uploaded a video, but life does get in the way sometimes and it has taken me away from making some videos. But I thought a good way to come back would be to talk about things that you could do in your golf simulator to make it a little bit better, some cool little add-ons. I'm always interested in finding ways to make my simulator better outside of the standard, computer launch monitor, projector, mat kind of thing. So I thought this would be a cool video, a little different to talk about that. So we're gonna get right into it. First thing I would say, it's right over here to my left. I'm gonna move it over, and keep in mind, everything I'm gonna say here is gonna be linked in the description of the video, in my Amazon storefront. And also, they're gonna be things that aren't overly expensive, but I think add a lot of convenience, make things more enjoyable for your simulator experience. So this first thing here is a golf club holder. And the funny thing about this isn't actually made for golf clubs. So here it is, and this is actually a fishing rod holder. And the reason I went with one of these is because it's actually a lot cheaper than a golf club holder. And actually, this does a great job. It can actually hold 16 clubs. I've got 15 in there right now. I know I'm only supposed to have 14, but I've got 15 in there. And I like it because I can move it around easily. And when you're on the simulator, you don't really need the bag. It's a pain to get your clubs in and out of the bag when you're using them so much on the simulator. So having the holder really helps it out. So I'd really recommend one of those. It's probably used the most of everything here besides the actual simulator equipment. So number one, fishing rod holder. All right, so the next thing I would say, it's right here. Now, I wouldn't say this specific one. I will link this on the bottom, but this is a ball tray. Now, I'll link it in the description. I bought this one when there wasn't a lot of options out. There's actually, I found on Amazon, there was way more varieties than what I had. So I would just say any general golf ball holder is good. Golf ball tray is good. This one, I don't really like this one because the green is just too aggressive. It's so bright, but I don't want to buy a new one. So here it is. I put the projector on, lights are off. Now, this is typically how I golf in my simulator. Sometimes I'll have the lights on, but what I really like having is the spotlight. And I have it mounted up here on my roof. And what I like about it is, we'll see how this looks in the camera, and I'm gonna move it a little closer so you can see. But what's nice about it is it actually illuminates the floor so you can actually see your ball. So we'll just do a little before and after. So highly recommend a spotlight. Now it doesn't really do anything for my launch monitor. I have the uneekor iMini light. Doesn't really matter for it. So that's it with it off, that's with it on. Highly recommend. It's got a little remote here, so I'll link it on Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks. And it's just mounted right on the ceiling. So again, a light is what I would say. This, if you want to save your back, you got to get one of these. This is a ball picker-upper, ball tube, and what I like about it is I don't have to bend over and pick up the balls. I can just do that, pick them all up. Instead of having to bend over to pick up all these golf balls, you just get this right off Amazon. I will link that as well, and picks up all the balls without an issue. And then the nice thing is, once they're in here, there's this little release right there. And all that you do, we'll point this down so you can see. Come right over here, release it. There you go. You don't have to pick up every single ball possible. So highly, highly, highly recommend that. Now, since the camera is pointed down, I'm gonna direct you over to this control box right here. It's pretty cool. It looks like a arcade. And this came over from my friend over at Rockstar Golf. Now, this is not on Amazon. I have this linked in my description. But what I like about this is if you use gspro, now I have my laptop mounted way over there in the corner, and I'll show you that in a minute. But the nice thing about this box is I don't have to keep going over there to actually move the mouse around. So actually I have a whole video on this, but Rockstar Golf control box, highly recommend that. I'm gonna put the camera on these two things that I have here. And we're gonna start with the first one on the left, and we're gonna grab a club. And what the thing on the left is, this is obviously, you would know if you golf, which most of you do if you're at this channel. This is a golf cart ball washer and club washer. Now, these are super important, especially when you're using your simulator when it's golf season. So right now, it's simulator season, it's November. and you're not golfing outside too much if you live where I live. Now, why this is important is because when you golf outside, your club obviously gets dirty. You don't want to be hitting a dirty golf club on your screen. Your screen is going to get filthy really, really quick. So what I have is this ball washer. Come right in here, wash your clubs, wipe it right off, and it's clean. To clean the golf balls too. They don't get too dirty in here, but sometimes they do, so I'll use it for that. Okay, so I'm in a garage, and as you know, it gets cold in the garage. This garage is half insulated, but it is underground, so it stays pretty ambient, like 50 degrees. What I've got here is the space heater. It's a heat storm. I've seen this on Amazon. I just got this. I like it because it's mounted to the wall, so there's no risk of it tipping over like typical space heaters, and it's got an app. So what I can do is I can move the car out, shut the door, go on my phone, turn this on, and I can monitor the temperature. Right now it's 60 degrees in here. That's actually pretty comfortable, I think, when you're golfing, because you get warm by just, obviously continuously hitting balls. But highly recommend this. It actually pumps out a decent amount of heat. I think better than some of the other space heaters I've seen. So I like this one. If you don't want to, the next thing for me is probably going to like a heat pump system, but that costs a few $1,000s. I'm not ready to do that yet. So space heater it is, works great for me. Highly recommend it. Okay, so again, this is a garage, so please excuse some of the mess. But I wanted to bring the camera over here to point out two things that I have. First, this is a TV cart. Now, why do I have this? Because I like to be able to have the TV, which I usually put up club metrics here, but I also sometimes put up, like, if I want to watch something, I'll put it up there. And the nice thing about this cart is I can wheel this around my garage. Now, it's just in this spot right now. I'm not going to move it because I have some stuff hooked up, but highly recommend a TV cart. You can even put your laptop here or a keyboard, and you've got, any TV you've got, you can mount it right there. This next thing, I got this. I think I got this at Lowe's. I like the look of it. It was like $100, I'm pretty sure. And this is where I keep my laptop and all of my computer accessories here, and I've got all my golf stuff in the drawers here. I thought it was cool because instead of just a normal desk, it looks cool like a tool chest. So highly recommend some sort of storage for your golf sim. Okay, so I'm going to highlight two more things here. This first one, now if you like me, you have a lot of random golf stuff, and I do apologize for the mess of this thing right here, but this is just a storage container. I can fit two bags, two full-size bags, and then I've got some drawers here and a little basket here, and then you can also put some spare clubs and stuff here. Now, I'd really recommend this, and this just keeps all my golf stuff organized. I know it's kind of a mess. I haven't cleaned this up in a while, but would highly recommend one of these. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. You can get them on sale for around $70, $80, so would highly recommend that. Another thing I want to recommend are foam tiles. Now, something about my garage is my wife uses it. She still parks in here. So all this stuff you see here gets put away quickly. What I like about the foam tiles is they kind of cushion the blow. So we'll grab a ball, and when it hits the screen, it bounces down, and it doesn't bounce all over the place. Okay, and the last two things I want to talk about, which I think everybody should have, even if you have a golf simulator or not, is one of these. These are, funny enough, they are sticks to mark my driveway for when it snows. Now, they're also really great alignment sticks. So you can get one these come from Home Depot, Lowe's, they're cheap. Highly recommend having at least two of them because they will help you with your practicing. Now, what I think steps it up a notch, if you have problems with swing plane like I do, I come hit from the outside a lot, is one of these. What is this? This is an alignment aid. I will link this in the description. Got it from Amazon. What I like about it is you put it down on the ground here, and then you put your alignment stick in there. And now I can kind of set it to a 45-degree angle, and I can work to make sure I'm getting the right swing plane. Come right in here. Keeps me on the inside rather than, coming from the outside. So that's one use of it, but would highly recommend one of those. I use it a lot when I'm practicing on the range, so I really recommend it. And then another thing I'm going to say is obviously simulator tees. So I have a couple of different varieties. I really like these. I think I got them on Amazon. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. And I like them because you can actually cut them to whatever size you want. I haven't cut these because I think they're a good size, but you can make them smaller. And I like it because these little teeth go right into the mat that I have. I also have these different style that I think somebody 3D printed these. They're okay. All right, well, that's gonna do it for me. Hopefully that was entertaining and that really gave you some good ideas for your golf simulator. Again, glad to be back. I will try to come out with some more videos as I can. Comment below of what unique aspect of your golf simulator you've got for other people to comment on. So again, see you next time. Remember to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.